The Sounds of ECLA deep dives into the business worlds of our members and partners.
What is the growth direction of your business? Where's the areas you want to focus on?
We learn about the challenges you've never heard of.
Sometimes work is going to need more of your time. And if you want to be successful, you have to be willing to do that.
The skills and habits that are the backbone of their businesses.
Life comes in seasons, just like the year comes in seasons. Some seasons will be really tough.
And the feedback and advice that set them up for success.
Being able to separate yourself from feedback and know that it's not personal and take it constructively, then you can only ever better the product that you've built.
This is The Sounds of ECLA. Welcome to The Sounds of ECLA. Maxie here. I'm joined by Loz.
Hi Maxie, I'm excited for this one.
I know. Look, the person we've got here, it's an absolute pleasure. She's been here right from the start at ECLA. She's doing some amazing work, her and her business partner, educating women and girls on health decisions, habits, and the long and short-term effects of those decisions they make on their physical and mental health. There's a lot more she does, but that's my take on it all. So as we've described plenty of times before, the co-founder of the Live Life Whole project, Megan Dickinson. Hey, Megs.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Good to be here.
Did I get close on some of that?
Yeah, I was
Good.
like, you're getting so good at talking about women's health since you've been around me.
Correct. I'm sure you can go into a lot
I'm
more
influential.
detail, though. Correct. Tell us a bit about the Live Life Whole project.
I think you did a really great job, to be honest. So we are a preventative health education program, originally designed to target girls in schools, but since we started, it's grown arms and legs. So working in schools, secondary schools, primary schools, and then branched into sporting clubs, communities, universities, workplaces, you name it, we now do it. But born and bred from the fact that I was a health professional, living my own health challenges and Sarah being my business partner and beautiful friend, that we both had similar stories and both saw so many women and girls going through the challenges that we had been through, but then seeing them come to me as a patient, as a physio, worried parents, concerned coaches, girls going through health journeys, not knowing sort of where to get help or where to get the right information or who to trust. So that was kind of the fire that lit the match that lights the fire. Is that the right? That was the spark behind why we started it, is just wishing that there was better education out there for women and girls.
So is that sort of from your personal experience, lived experience? Is that how it was framed, or that was your lived experience going to experts saying, this is what I'm thinking, how can we be better at this?
Yeah, bit of both, because going through my challenges, I was in my 20s. So a lot of girls, tend to go through things in their teenage years. But me going through it whilst I was a health professional, I was kind of the patient and the practitioner at the same time. So I was seeing the stories from girls coming through my office, but then also going through my own physical and mental challenges. That's where I was like, I want to do more to help others. And so I started doing more education and courses and stuff to improve my own learning, to help myself. But in the end ended up helping others. And that's where the idea came from, to say, well, I don't have to do it all myself, which Loz just said to me yesterday. I need to get all of these other health professionals that are working with these girls as well. Like, I was constantly referring girls and parents to dietitians and psychologists and sleep doctors and body image experts and women's health doctors, to get them to help me with these patients as well. So the idea was, let's put together a team of health professionals to essentially be a team of women's health professionals in people's back pockets, so that they don't have to pay thousands of dollars to see, 5 different health professionals at once. They can actually have a team of health professionals wherever they go through accessing us. So yeah, it was a bit of both, but ultimately went to all of these health professionals and said, this is what we're thinking. I want to build this. And they're all as equally as passionate about education as I was, because prevention's better than a cure, and that's where the start of it all began. So,
Megs, I've been super lucky to work alongside you and see the business grow, but also witness the passion that you have for this space. And having been a teacher and obviously female, I wish that was available to me early on and the kids that I used to teach. From a business perspective, what's been hard getting this idea off the ground that you're so passionate about? But as we both know, things don't happen as quickly as we like. So what have you learnt through that journey of having your own business?
It's funny you say that, because I never wanted to own my own business. As a physio, I always wanted to leave work at work and go home and clock off, and I saw my family own a business, my sister own a business, my employees in the past own a business. And I'm like, I never want that stress. I never want to have that. But in the end, it lied with I was so passionate about this and it was never going to get out there if I didn't do it. So I had to take the risk to say, well, I've got to create it, I've got to build it, I've got to get it out there. And I guess people can warn you, but you've got to go through it yourself to learn it all. Like you can be told, not to do this or not to do that, but until you learn it yourself, then you don't necessarily learn the lessons. So everything for me that's not my strength, like I'm a physio, so treating patients and, communicating with people and helping others and education is my strength. But when it comes to accounting and HR and all of the legal stuff behind, like getting a trademark to set up your brand in the beginning and like setting up all of your legal and your accounting and your insurance, and that was all like no one teaches you that stuff. So I look back now and I'm so glad that I've ticked all those boxes and done everything right. But I remember at the time I was like, this stuff all costs a lot of money and I'm not making any money in return. And you set up all of these things to make sure that you set up properly. And now I look back and I'm so thankful that I've done that hard stuff in the beginning. But I would say they're not my strengths. And I've had to constantly network and connect with people to get to the right people, because I've had bad experiences with people that, have let you down, or you've tried to put trust in someone else to delegate or outsource something and then it's not done the way that it should be or the way that you've hoped. And then you have to learn the hard lesson of, not taking that personally and going, this is part of growth and not taking it personally, I suppose. So all of those have been challenges for me. But now I feel like we're in a really great place of having a really supportive team, as all of our third-party supports are people that I trust really well.
You're both educators, so you understand better than anyone that there's so many different ways of learning. And one thing I love about what you're doing is you'll go into schools or into community groups and work with bigger groups, and then you can break off into smaller groups for those that need it. But then there's also online platform for those that they're better off doing it with a mother or a father or a caretaker or a sister or a brother or something like that. So can you talk to us about the different platforms you use to help this education?
Yeah. We sort of started off the back of COVID. So I think at that point in time, there was so much demand for getting off the screens. So we kind of had to lean into that a bit in terms of heavily face-to-face is where we started. So when we go into a school, we deliver face-to-face programs where we have a team of facilitators that come in and deliver the programs for the school. And that's sort of how it looks in a school-based setting, and schools sort of pick from the areas that are most needed for them. We come in and run the day where we might have all the girls together at the start and at the end of the day, and we rotate through smaller workshops throughout the day, and girls get exposure to all the modules and sort of doing different activities, and they have a journal that they sort of take home and parents can access that. And that's sort of how our schools program looks in terms of face-to-face. But then the online is where we're heading into a big sort of scaling phase at the moment around how many people want access to this, because if we can't get to them face-to-face, like we've only got so many people on the ground. So we were able to grow, and we're continuing to grow nationally in terms of our sort of footprint. But the digital platform is all around creating access to sporting clubs, like girls in sporting clubs teams that might be able to do our programs through, online modules and that sort of stuff. Boarding houses, parents at home that want to support their daughter and want to learn, at their own pace to sort of without the need of having to attend a set live session or an in-person session or whatever that might be. So we run a whole heap of online offerings, everything from sort of webinars for parents and coaches to health professional Q&As that sort of we've built up a library of, all of the frequently asked questions and that sort of stuff that parents and coaches and everyone want to know. But then we've also got our online program, which is a 6-module course, which is often groups like what I said, sporting clubs, boarding houses, even individuals. So we've had referrals from GPs, for example, that have got some clients that they're like, this is a girl that might need to see multiple health professionals. And I think if she did your program, it could be a way of her, reducing the likelihood of her health concerns worsening and then, ending up in hospital or that type of stuff. So it is working really well with GPs to refer into the program as well. But ultimately the online piece for us is growing arms and legs in terms of its accessibility to be a web-based platform for schools to grow into a schools-based curriculum model where teachers can sort of subscribe to our platform and have access to our resources and materials to help them. And then the other side of it is the platform for the parent and the girl at home via an app and being able to answer all the questions that they have and need answers to. So I said before about the team of women's health professionals in someone's back pocket. That's kind of like the goal of whatever questions you have, whether you need short form content, long form content, educational based material, you just need to listen to a podcast about a certain topic and you want to make sure that it's credible from health professionals. So it's kind of a curated space of trusted, credible resources that teachers, parents, girls, anyone can access.
Aside from the business part to it, the skills that you've learned over the years in terms of becoming a physio and the work ethic required and everything along those lines, what are the skills now that you lean on? Because you've taken on a lot with this and you're so passionate about it, but what skills do you fall back on? Or are there habits you fall back on that go, this is what's going to set my day up, this is what's going to set me up, this is what I need to do when I'm really under pressure or stressed?
Yeah, I'm definitely a type A person. So very lists and like ticking things off, and I've got lists coming out my ears and I'll rewrite it 5 times and I won't get anything done because I'm writing my list. But I reckon time management and time blocking. As a physio, I'd arrive at the clinic and I'd have half an hour consults or I'd have a 45-minute Pilates class. And that's helped me so much to come into this business now, and going from a day that's planned for you completely with patients booked in to now you've got a blank diary and you've got to create opportunities for yourself and create meetings and create everything. It's like, where do I start? There's so many things to juggle here. How much time do I spend on sales? How much time do I spend on operations? How much time do I spend networking and trying to build new connections, content creation, product development? So I feel being able to time block has helped me a lot. And I almost overestimate how long things will take me. So I might block out 3 hours, even though I know something might take me an hour and a half. I'd rather have more time than be crammed to a deadline, because I know from when I was a uni student, I was that type of person that did my assignments like 2 weeks in advance because I hated last minute cramming. So I feel I always overestimate with my time management so that I can always meet a deadline rather than be stressed at the last minute, because I am the type of person to get stressed at the last minute. So I control the controllables.
Smart.
ECLA is a place where work, connection and culture meet with warmth and intention. Not a traditional co-working or service office, but a workplace shaped by human experience for modern professionals who want to work brilliantly. Visit eclar.com to learn more. What's some of the hardest feedback you have received over the journey? And you're working with kids, so I know that they can be pretty open and honest, but how has that shaped how you've changed your business or the feedback that you've been given to be like, okay, it's coming from the horse's mouth?
Yeah. I remember starting out and I was so scared of feedback. I just took everything personally and crumbled at, I'm a bit of a sensitive soul. So this was my baby and this was what we've sort of created from the heart and soul of your own pain and your own journey. So there's a lot of emotions behind it. And I still remember the first ever workshop that I stepped into. My brother's a teacher and he was like, Megs, you're going from being a physio to stepping into a school and then thinking that you're meant to know everything. It's going to be different. And I was like, no, I'll be right. This is my strength. I know what I'm talking about. I get in front of these girls and they're like year 8, year 9 girls, and you would know, Loz, as a teacher, they're some of the most brutal experiences that you can have. And I remember finishing my first workshop and we had feedback slips at the time where the girls had to write their feedback on. So you're getting teenage girls writing you feedback and it's honest and raw and they could not give 2 hoots about what they've said. And I don't even remember the particular sentence, but I know it hit me so hard. I walked out of this workshop and I read something on a feedback slip from one of these girls in year 9, and it would have been something like, this was a waste of time or something like that. And I got home and I was just so rattled for about an hour. And then my partner, Nick, at the time sort of talked me through it, and we came up with strategies around, you know, not reading the feedback straight away and creating space after the workshop before you read the feedback and, you know, not take it personally and all that sort of stuff. But that feedback slip in itself has now shaped everything that I've done with the workshops and how they've evolved. And I think being able to separate yourself from feedback and know that it's not personal and take it constructively, then you can only ever better the product that you've built. So instead of now, like I can read the feedback slip straight away now and I'm just like, cool, that's just a Year 9 girl giving her 2 cents worth. But that's ultimately the heart and soul of what the product has been created for. So listening to that, but separating myself from it to not take it personally. And that's helped me evolve the program from where it was 4 years ago. I was standing in front of like 200 girls delivering keynotes and wondering why I wasn't getting sort of much engagement out of the girls, whereas now we do these small interactive groups. We have activities, we're engaging in discussions with girls. It's just shaped where it was to where it is now. So that's what I would say.
Thank you to the Year 9 girl.
What about the other way? There must have been a couple that have really stayed with you that particularly when you spend so much time and it puts so much work into it, you get some negative feedback or some feedback that isn't all that good. You must have a couple of stories about young girls who have come out the other way and it's changed their lives really.
Yeah, and I think they're the ones that really hit you you got to hold back the tears when you get those ones, whether it's been parents or girls, to be honest. I've had a bit of both. I've had parents that have really bared sort of hard on the sleeve to say, you know, this was not available when I was younger and this is now helping me to be able to provide the right care for my daughters, because ultimately the parent just wants the girl to be healthy and happy and they just want someone to tell them how to get their daughters to that. So I've had some pretty hard sort of parent stories around how much they've helped, whether it be daughter self-harming, whether it be daughter going through an eating disorder, and how much Live Life Whole has helped that parent, which is really rewarding. To parents carry a lot of that load. It's heartbreaking to see the mum or the dad be like, I just want to help her and this is now helping me help her. The other ones would be, I've had some girls, many girls over the years come up to me at the end of a workshop, and often you don't get time to really chat to them because they rush off to the next class kind of thing. But I've had girls come up and similar thing, whether it be mental health, whether it be disordered eating, whether it be things like endometriosis or, understanding now that they need to go and seek help because maybe they have something when it comes to PCOS or endometriosis that they need to seek help for. It's sort of brought it to light for them and they're like, I now know that I need to go and see a women's health physio, or I now know that this is what I need to do with my nutrition, or I now know that this is how I can manage my stress. So I think that the ones that really hit you are the eating disorders and mental health concerns. Anything around self-harm is pretty confronting, but also it's huge to think that you're changing someone's life in that sense in terms of the health outcomes for them and their family.
A big thanks to the production team at This Is a Studio for producing this episode. They handle everything, the equipment, the technical expertise and the editing, delivering you a complete ready to upload episode in both audio and video. All you have to do is talk. Whether you're launching a podcast or leveling up your current one, they make it incredibly easy. If you need any support, have a chat to the team here at ECLA or reach out to This Is a Studio.
How can the industry be better? Because obviously you're still trying to make it preventative, but you can't do it on your own. So what does the industry need to do to educate or better equip the girls coming through or us as parents? Because we don't know.
Yep. And our generation never learned. So
No,
our
weren't
parents didn't
told.
talk about any of this stuff. I think there's a big part of what's coming for us is how we can help in terms of I guess this model of training the trainer and training the messenger and helping parents and teachers. Like we've been heavily focused on the girls themselves, but in fact, if we can do more work with parents and teachers and dads with daughters and getting to the adults, even the health professionals that, need to refer girls, etc. So I think probably number one for us is we want to do a lot more work with adults this year, corporate workplaces with parents in the workplace that are, having to take sick leave because they've got a daughter that's going through something. That's going to impact that corporate's productivity. And everything that they need to achieve. So something that's on our big goals for this year is really reaching the adults. So training the teachers, training the coaches, training the parents, working with the adults that are able to, at the very least, translate the message that we're trying to get across. Like any industry, there's red tape everywhere, and I find everything, unfortunately, there's budgets, there's, government policies, there's all of that sort of stuff. So I think having people in decision-making seats that are willing to be open to big ideas and not sort of closed-minded. I would love more people in decision-making seats to sort of see how much prevention can change lives, really. And I understand that a lot of the spend in terms of government spending and all that sort of stuff is around treatment and reactivity and that sort of stuff. But if we can get in front of the right people to promote how much prevention can make a difference, we're talking like reducing spend for the economy, not just for a single parent. Like it's huge, the impact that it can have. So we just need to remove some of the red tape and some of the people making decisions to hopefully give us more opportunities to do what we do best.
Yeah. Means you take on so much, as we've spoken about. How do you relax? How do you actually take a step back and try and put this just in the side mirror for a little bit so that you can actually spend some time for you?
Yeah. It's been a big couple of years, and I think you have to be that yes person in the beginning. And that's why I shied away from running a business, because I was like, I'm not the yes person.
Yep.
But I've learnt massively through my own health hurdles as to what really wreaks havoc on my health if I am stressed. So like the beach is my happy place. So forced myself to take a good break over summer this year and actually setting time aside from work, time to shut the laptop, time to step away and have that solid break where you're not thinking about it. So setting proper breaks where you're not in Melbourne, like it might be, anywhere where you can go, but the beach is definitely my happy place in terms of de-stressing, and just diving in the ocean helps reduce all stress. It's like my form of meditation. So I can't sit there and meditate, but I can go jump in the ocean and that helps. Routine, I'm a big one for everything around sleep, nutrition, like eating well, sleeping well, putting in time for myself around connecting with people that really mean things to me. Wouldn't say I'm a massive extrovert, more of an introvert, but I spend time with the people that are like my 5 people, kind of quality time with the people that are my ride or die kind of people. So all of that, I think, in the balance. And then a good Netflix and chill. I'm hooked on some series at the moment, which definitely, I used to not be able to like sit and watch TV, but now I'm much a person that can just, watch 3 hours, and that's my downtime.
Love it.
Sounds boring, but like.
Where would you like to see Live Life Whole in 18 months' time? So if we could come back and record you in 18 months, what would you like to say that Live Life Whole's achieved?
Global domination. No, I'm joking. It's definitely a national footprint.
Yep.
That's a lot in 18 months, but that's okay. I think we've sort of made our way into multiple states now, but really sort of leading the way for women and girls health education around Australia would be a huge goal of ours, scaling our online offerings and our platform to put it in the hands of more people. And that's not just nationally, that's internationally. I'm actually off to Auckland on Sunday.
Yes.
So we're stepping into
I
New
knew
Zealand.
that was coming up.
We're not limited by, we don't want to have glass ceilings, and we just want to put this in the hands of people that can help us to help Live Life Whole thrive. So people that can, put us in seats and opportunities to help it grow, help scale our digital platform, and help reach as many girls around the country.
It's over 25,000 now that you've helped, and I know it's over 90%, rate of positive influence. So it's amazing what you're doing. For anyone out there listening, how do they find you?
So you can find us at www.thelivelifewholeproject.com.au. We've got a contact form on our website that anyone and everyone can literally use that page to contact us, and we get that straight away. Our Instagram page is at the Live Life Whole Project, and you can find us, Sarah and I, on LinkedIn, Megan Dickinson, Sarah Roughhead, and outside of that, I think that's all the We're not on TikTok. We need to get on TikTok.
That's where the cool kids are.
Yeah.
Megs, you're doing some amazing work. Again, you've been a great part of our community. You've helped so many of our members with their daughters and so many parents, me in particular, with different advice along the way with daughters. So again, thanks for everything you're doing. It's incredible work. For anyone out there who's trying to learn more, go and find out more. If you're coaching young girls and you haven't been in that position before, like a lot of volunteers are, I encourage you to go learn more. But the Live Life Whole project's been awesome, and it's great to see it continue to grow. So well done for all your passion. This was the Sounds of ECLA. Thank you again for joining us, and a big thank you to This Is a Studio for all their work behind the scenes, helping us put this together. We'll see you next time.